morning and welcome to Mornings on Main Street for this Monday, May 8th. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. And boy, is it a Monday morning. Thanks so much for joining us here after a jam-packed weekend. I hope no matter what you did, that you had a great time and you stayed safe throughout the weekend. But again, thanks for being here today. Coming up, we sit down with the founder and chair of the Veterans Channel. Now, the Veterans Channel is a spot to where those in the armed forces, veterans, reservists, men and women who serve or are first responders, they can go to not only educate, but uplift each other. We learn about a very special project that the founder and chair is working on right now, and it is one that you will want to hear about. After that, we are in Pulaski, Tennessee to visit a teen center that is coming to be a spot where teens can go more or less as a sanctuary, a hangout location, and it is a safe spot for them to be. We get to learn all about the pouring spot a little bit later here on Mornings on Main Street. And then we round out today with another wonderful restaurant that Catherine Mayhew, our food writer and columnist, is raving about. We get to share with you this Asian comfort food restaurant. It's a good one, so be sure to stick with us for that. But first, let's get a check of our headlines. Tennessee now has a new educational leader who has been an advocate for school choice. Lizette Gonzalez Reynolds, currently the Vice President of Policy for Excellent ED, will become Tennessee's Commissioner of the Department of Education on July 1st. Read what Governor Bill Lee has to say about our new leader in education by going to mainstreetmediatn.com. Former Good Morning America host Joan London shared humor along with statistics and information about maintaining health and mental sharpness to a large crowd during a recent 50 Forward breakfast in honor of Older Americans Month. Now, London was asked to be the keynote speaker at the event to share advice on aging well and the importance of staying healthy. She said this: the experts say 30% of longevity is really controlled by our genes, and that's good because that means 70% is in our control by our lifestyle choices and our health maintenance. London 72 told that to the crowd. Now, if you would like more information on 50 Forward and this event, head over to mainstreetmediatn.com. After 30 years of helping to make Nashville a destination city, the retiring head of the Nashville Convention and Visitors Corp, Butch Spiriton, received the 100th star on the Music City Walk of Fame. Now, he helped to start the Walk of Fame in 2006 with the Fisk Jubilee Singers, the group responsible for Nashville's reputation as Music City. Joe and Linda Chambers and Eric Church were also inducted with the 98th and 99th stars. Check out the full article to learn about Spiriton and what others have to say about what he has done for Nashville Music City by going to our website. It was a little bit of a rainy Sunday last night and in the afternoon. What's ahead of us today? Let's check in with Tennessee Valley weather for what we can expect in the forecast.
Hey folks, happy Monday and thank you for stopping by Tennessee Valley Weather. I'm Ben Luna here in the Weather Center with a check on your forecast. Raincoats and umbrellas needed again today. Here's a look at Futurecast where we'll see a few scattered storms left over across the mid-state region through the midday. The good news, by around the mid-afternoon, all that's well south of I-40 and most of the area dries out for a little bit, but it's not going to last long. Another complex of storms will develop and work from the north to the south across the area late tonight and into early Tuesday. These storms will contain some gusty wind, locally heavy rain, and maybe some medium to large-sized hail. Now, they could be strong, and possibly a few of them trend into severe criteria. We'll be watching that closely again as this system pushes its way across the region late tonight and into the first part of your Tuesday. That is but one piece of an on-again, off-again complex of rain and storms that we'll deal with this week. More scattered activity is possible behind that system as we head into your Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All of this is going to be scattered activity, I think, with temperatures still staying fairly mild, low to mid-80s across the region, but we will cool off again as we look into the weekend. As the front passes, we'll be dropping back into the mid to low 70s by Saturday and Sunday. That's a check on your forecast. Have a great Monday.
The Veterans Channel, if you have not heard, the Veterans Channel is something that has been viewed in 42 countries. What the Veteran Channel is It is a video streaming service where the men and women that serve in the armed forces, veterans, the reservists, and the first responders can educate and uplift one another. And it is so important for veterans to know that they have that support. Well, today we have the creator, the founder of the Veterans Channel with us. We have Hannah with us. First off, Hannah, thank you so much for coming and sharing more of the work that you're doing, because you're doing a lot of great, incredible things.
Thank you for your support.
You're very welcome. So before we get going too far into the important project that you've been working on, that you're getting out there and the work that you're doing, tell us about the Veterans Channel and what it is all about.
The Veterans Channel is a private platform for veterans by veterans that shares uplifting, educational, and entertaining programming.
And that programming you see, I'm going to go, which, again, you can kind of see for yourself, and you saw as we were coming into the show. So you have the trailers, you have show series, you have showcases. What are some of the things that you are showcasing on here? I know they're veteran stories, but what type of veteran stories?
Sure. They're mostly homegrown episodic docu-series around veterans' lifestyle, culture, their solutions, their retreats, their struggles, that sort of thing. So our show series range from veteran retreats to the opioid crisis and solutions around that, to legacy stories of the veterans that are more senior and before we lose them, and stories of transitioning and what they're doing now when they transition out of service, but how they continue to serve their own community and one another.
Before we get to the project, which I cannot wait to share the project you've been working on, where did this idea come from to create something like this? Because for anyone who's worked in production, in video, in online content, it is a huge undertaking. And to work with veterans, to get their stories out, that had to have been big for you. Where did that come from?
I have to say it was a divine appointment. I don't want to say a divine accident. It really shows me I didn't set out to build the Veterans Channel. As I shared with you, we have a 501c3 Veteran Retreats Foundation. And in that foundation, we host holistic wellness retreats to veterans that are suicidal or suffer post-traumatic stress disorder. And it came to a point where I needed a platform that I could share educational content that would help their well-being. And in doing that, I came across the designers of a platform that had built a platform for when the Grammys wanted to go live. And when I saw that, I knew I wanted one. And I said, if I build it, they'll come. And when we first started out, I thought it would be like America's Funniest Home Videos, where veterans would send in their own videos and their own footage. And that didn't happen. So then I was forced to produce content, and very quickly. So I started filming Heroes Highway Ride, Race of America, those events that I had learned that mainstream media was no longer attending the same way they used to.
Right.
So it gave us an opportunity to show support and say, okay, well, we'll come. We're the Veterans Channel. I met great editors and cinematographers that shot for cable and National Geographic and Discovery. And when they edited my own show, we looked cable ready. And I fell in love with that and then never looked back.
I have been able to watch a couple of videos that are showcased on here. And one that I love is, you have, I want to say it's a group of 6 or 7 veterans together, and they're talking and they're finding comfort in each other's stories, in their struggles, and also in the ways they overcame that struggle. And it is so beautiful to see. And it's incredible that you're doing this and putting it out there and letting everyone, view and share together, and also reaching out to you to say, hey, I want to share my story. There's something you're working on, a special project. What is that, and where are you in that project?
Thank you for asking. That's Bastogne Forever. And unlike our episodic shows, it's a feature, and it's an exclusive. We were very privileged to be invited by Colonel Sharp and the Department of the Army, 101st, to film the Bastogne Reunion Week, which included an LPD, Leader Professional Development, and the 20th anniversary Operation Iraqi Freedom Ball. And over the course of 3 days, we filmed at Wilson Theater on Fort Campbell, and we witnessed and documented the veterans that deployed, the first unit to deploy 20 years ago, come back on a panel share their stories and what bonded them and got them through those attacks 20 years ago. Now, imagine them speaking to the current unit before they deployed to European Command. Same with at the ball. It's the first time that veterans have been integrated in. Normally, it's active duty at that ball. So you watched through the camaraderie, through the fellowship, the remembrance. You saw the veterans look at the current active duty guys and remember that was us 20 years ago. There was a lot of healing. It was all around healing. That's why it's so special. Although it's for the Veterans Channel, it really was a 3-day retreat, in my mind, reunion. On day 3, we interviewed those veterans from the first unit 20 years ago and asked them why the reunion was important to them. And they all shared that it made them feel relevant. And I think that's important, that the veterans feel relevant.
That is important, not just, in this, but every single day, that veterans feel, they're important. The work that they've done is important. Something that I thought was beautiful in the trailer that you shared with me is the wreath laying. And as they were remembering those that were in their unit that, didn't come back from that initial attack.
Yes. And when you ask them what was the most important part for them over that 3 days, it was the wreath laying. It was, and honoring one another. I think it's a historical piece. I know it is, actually. Especially because we filmed the current unit before they deployed to European Command. So, 20 years from now, 10 years from now, we look back on that. That's when I think we'll really understand the relevance of why Bastogne, what we call Bastogne Forever.
And for those who are not familiar, you can definitely, look and research not Bastogne Forever as well as Operation Iraqi Freedom. When can we expect to see the full video?
Mid-June.
Yes. How will it feel for you once that is completed and up and people are viewing it?
I'm not sure, because in my mind, I live it completed now. I've for the last few weeks since we cut the teaser, it's done for me now. It really is just about sharing it and now experiencing the reactions from the veterans that lived it. Yeah, I already feel a sense of accomplishment with it.
What are you hearing from those veterans who have shared their stories, who lived that? What are they saying talking with you now? Like, how is that? What are they saying?
All across the board, the common denominator is healing.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And for those if there's someone out there that would like to share their story, they would like to, send it to you. How do they do that? How do they connect with you?
So they email us.
Okay.
Through the veteranschannel.com. They can send in a video, an idea, they can communicate, and I'll respond directly. And I need that for me. It's encouraging for me. It's encouraging for other. Here's what I've learned, Stephanie. When veterans share their stories, there's a healing that gets initiated when they share with one another. So I'm learning that through storytelling, there can be healing. And the Veterans Channel is a great platform, not just for what we produce, but for a home for the work that veterans have already done. They're making docuseries. They're making, they have their own podcast. They're doing all kinds of great stuff. So we're a good home for that.
That you are. So if you would like more information about the Veterans Channel, about the projects they're working on, or one of their retreats, just reach out to Henna through the email that you will find at the Veterans Channel. Go straight there. Henna, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stephanie.
I appreciate it. Stick with us. We have more coming up. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Umami Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
You can't see the sights without the sounds. from the crack of the bat to the roar of the crowd and everything in between. Discover what Hit City has to offer. Spend your nights cheering on the Nashville Sounds at First Horizon Park with giveaways, fireworks shows, theme weekends, and more. Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit NashvilleSounds.com to claim your seat today.
Who wouldn't love a stuffed booster? I know I sure would, or any sort of sound swag, all of which can be found at Nashville Sounds Pro Shop. The Nashville Sounds and Main Street Media Television would love to invite you out to Sunday Family Fun Day, each Sunday home game. You can also register to win free tickets by going to your favorite Main Street Media website. Register to win, and then we'll see you here at the ballpark. Well, for 6 years now, the Pouring Spot has been a great place for teens to come and be in a supportive environment and a great place for them just to relax. And I have the CEO and founder of the Pouring Spot in Pulaski, Tennessee with me, or I'm with her once again in her setting. We have Renee Malone. First up, Renee, this is a phenomenal environment.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. We appreciate you all coming. This is our 6th year. We're excited. We just see several teens and youth throughout the community. They find this to be like a youth haven, a home away from home.
And I can definitely see why. I mean, from the couches to the tables, you have computers that are on hand here.
We do.
Tell me how this started and where you're at now.
All right. Well, it started actually with a dream. I was an empty nester, and I feel like the Lord impressed upon my heart to create a place, a safe haven for our youth in our small town to have somewhere to kind of have an outlet. And so over the years, we've seen them grow up, graduate, and new bunches come in. So now that we're in our 6th year, we're actually in a new location. We started off right around the corner, and that was a rental place. And we own the building. So we're down to our last 6 months of paying off the building to be debt free. So that is awesome in 6 years.
Congratulations on
you.
that. So you said this started with a dream. So, this was put in your heart to do this. Did you understand the need for a spot like this at that time?
Not fully. I was an empty nester. I had 3 sons, and they always said the same thing. There's nothing to do in Pulaski. And so it was just amazing to say, well, now let me just create a place with pool tables, just a fun, safe place where mamas can know where their babies are at.
So what are they able to do here? What do you provide?
We provide a meal each day, a warm meal, just to kind of give them that home environment. Nothing elaborate, usually like a one-dish wonder. But we help with homework. We have computers for them, printers, free Wi-Fi. And then we have recreational. So we have indoor basketball in the back and pool tables, just a little bit of everything. And we offer mentorship. Whether they call it that or not, that's really what we're doing, trying to pour into their lives.
How many kids do you think you've helped up until this point?
At this point, I'm trying to slowly count it up. It's been over 2,500 kids that have come through here. Now, every day is a different bunch, but for 6 years, we've seen at least that many come in and out our doors.
Have you heard anything from them, like for those who maybe have gone on,
Yes.
and moved away or moved on to something else? Have you heard back from them?
We have one that was all the way in Philadelphia now, and he just emailed back and he said, I just appreciate you all loving me the way you did. And then we've had parents come back and say that, it really helped them while they may have been away from their family. And then we've even had the older youth come back and donate to us because we do operate fully on donations.
So speaking of, that would lead me right into my next question. If people out there, they're seeing this, they want to help you out, how can they donate, or where can they just get information?
Yes, you can go to our website, www.pouringspot.com, and we have a PayPal link on there that you can donate. We have Cash App. We have all these ways, or you can just come by. And we're at 200 East Jefferson in Pulaski, Tennessee. And we invite folks to come by and just see the environment because it's hard to explain, but we do operate fully on donations. So for 6 years, the community has really blessed us to be a blessing to our youth.
Well, I see why the youth in this area, why they come here and get comfortable.
Yes.
And again, your energy and who you have here with you to kind of be that leader, that person to offer a little more support.
We're definitely
So
trying.
Renee Malone, the CEO and founder of the Pouring Spot in Pulaski, Tennessee. Again,
Yes.
thank you for all you do.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Anytime. Stick with us. We have more coming up after this.
Hockey in Music City just hits different. It's one big honky-tonk party. It's the sea of gold in the crowd, the goals, the saves, the celebrations. It's an experience like no other. Experience Predators hockey all season long. Visit NashvillePredators.com/season tickets and join the Loyal Legion today. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets, and we'll see you at Bridgestone Arena.
Tired of hanging lights every year? We get it. That's why Southern Nights is here to help. We install programmable lighting on your home or business so you can enjoy beautiful, customizable lighting all year round. No more ladders, tangled lights, or cold nights outside. We do the work, you do the celebrating. Call Southern Nights today and take the hassle out of holiday lighting forever. For a free quote, give us a call at 931-241-3074 or visit our Facebook page at Southern Nights.
Welcome back. There are so many restaurants in the Middle Tennessee area in Nashville to choose from, but there is someone that helps us out every Monday to pick maybe our next restaurant to visit. I am talking about our food columnist and reporter, Catherine Mayhew. For our Let's Eat segment today, we are talking Umami Asian Fusion, which is an Asian fusion restaurant in Nashville, Tennessee. Hey, Catherine.
Hi, how are you?
Wonderful. How are you this morning?
I'm great.
So we're talking umami. What was it like? Is it good?
Well, it's very good. It is a combination between Korean food and Japanese food, not combined necessarily, but
Okay.
the owners hail from Korea and Japan, so that's why. And the thing that attracted me initially to this, although I love Korean food in general,
Mhm.
was they're one of the few places in Middle Tennessee that serve Korean fried chicken.
Oh, that
And
sounds delicious. How is
it,
that done? Like, how do they do it? How do they
well, it's
create
there's
it?
an interesting story behind it. During the Korean War, soldiers from the U.S. around Thanksgiving time missed having turkey because there are no turkeys in Korea. And so they made themselves fried chicken and they shared it with their Korean counterparts. Well, at the time in Korea, chicken was extremely expensive. People would use it sparingly, like to extend a soup or a stew, and they had never heard of frying it at all. So they took this American fried chicken and they applied the frying techniques that they use, in this case, potato starch, and they started frying their own chicken. Well, the thing that potato starch does is it makes it an incredibly thin, crispy exterior, unlike American fried chicken, where it's a good amount of crunch and craggles, and
Mhm.
this is very, very thin. And the other thing they do differently is they double fry their chicken. So that double fry gives it even more crispiness, and it's just delicious. It's delicious.
Just the look on your face, I know it was just that good.
Well, you can get it naked with no sauce.
Okay.
But you can also get it with either a spicy sauce or a soy garlic sauce, which is what I ended up doing. And even in the sauce, it stays crispy. I mean, it is kind of a modern miracle of fried chicken. It's
When you say double fry, so do they put it in, take it out, and maybe put something else on it, then put it back in the fryer?
no, they take it out from the first fry and they let it sit,
Okay.
and then they up the temperature for the second fry.
Oh.
So when they put it in for the second fry, it's not in there as long because the chicken is essentially cooked. All they're doing for the second fry is crisping up the crust.
Okay.
And it is, if I were having a March Madness party, you can order this in quantities from 6 wings. They do this normally with wings.
Uh-huh.
You can order 6 wings or you can order 50. And if I were having a March Madness party, I would so be over there ordering this.
For all the guys listening to this right now, or ladies too, all of us, again, you heard her, you heard Catherine, March Madness, if you're having a party, this is where you need to get your wings.
And they do a lot of other things. The Korean menu has classics on it. It has bibimbap. It has bulgogi. It has a lot of things with kimchi in it. And if you're a kimchi fan, and if most people know, I think that it's fermented cabbage, a little spicy. You can find it at every Korean restaurant, but they use it in a stir-fried pork. They use it in stir-fried rice. They actually have an appetizer with French fries with kimchi, and then just build a lily cheese and sour cream. So
I have never heard of such being used with or that setup with kimchi.
No, I haven't either. But they're good. I mean, they're really good. It's that salty potato, and then the brininess of the kimchi, and then you add the luxurious sour cream. I mean, talk about good basketball food, football food. Yeah, it's terrific. And then they have an extensive Japanese menu too. So it's kind of like, you want to go get a bento box one day and you want to get Korean fried chicken the next. It's a really good mix of a lot of good Asian flavors, done in a contemporary way. It's a cute little strip shop setup right on the edge of Nolensville and Nashville. And it's definitely, they have a lot of beer on tap, and beer and fried chicken. Come on, everybody knows.
You can't beat it.
Yeah, can't beat it.
Oh, no, you cannot. So do you suggest that we go for a lunch or for a dinner?
It doesn't matter. I mean, I don't know about you, Stephanie, but I eat fried chicken anytime. I'm okay with it any time of the day. So, if you want to have a couple of beers and it's in the middle of the day, maybe that's not a great idea, but
as long as you're not going back to work, maybe.
There you go.
Umami Asian Fusion. Catherine, thank you for sharing this with us today. The pictures that we have look great, and I can't wait to try it.
Well, you're welcome, and I hope you do try it. It's really terrific.
I want the wings. I want the wings and the beer. Catherine, thank you. Until next time, have a great day.
You too.
All right, stick with us here on Mornings on Main Street. We have more coming up for you after this.
There's a lot to consider when it comes to choosing a Medicare plan. That's where Health Markets Insurance Agency can help. Independent licensed insurance agents who work with Health Markets can answer your questions about the different parts of Medicare, when you can enroll, benefits, costs, and more. Speak to a local licensed insurance agent today to get started on your Medicare journey.
Welcome back. Before we leave you, I would like to share that we produce a lot of original content at Main Street Media. We have Mornings on Main Street Today, Main Street Sports Today, special shows like Taste of Nashville and At the Zoo with Jim Bartu. If you would like to catch any of our episodes, you can go to YouTube for that. You can head over to our social media sites as well as our streaming channels on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. You can also download our mobile app, Main Street Media TV Mobile. Again, thanks so much for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you back here on Tuesday.